And it works surprisingly. Excellent. Well, I say it works. It connected like it's supposed to connect. As it does, as you hope for it to do. And other such mayhem. Oh. Hi! There's a tiny little X in the corner. You're not supposed to be there. Let me just... Boink. I'm a professional. But anyways, hello everyone. I'm Firespit, protogen most likely to thrive through the chaos and cause plenty of mayhem along the way. And welcome back to some more Oxygen Not Included, in which hopefully our plan is to put everything into a rocket and shoot it off in space and have to deal with it in space. Because yes, we're just gonna have to keep having to deal with it even though it's in space. And let's go ahead and jump right into this mess. Oh, hi trees. And let's see here. I want that to be 7. Nope, not 77, just regular 7. What does that sound? Ooh, a mealwood seed. Yoink. That's probably just coming from that. That makes sense. Again with the ice. The ethanol self-freezing? No, it's not the ethanol freezing. Ethanol also has an awful thermal conductivity. Probably no better than nectars, but... Okay, nectar's marginally better. It's definitely got better thermal capacity. Honestly, I should probably put a pressure sensor in here. It's actually kind of what I want to do over here as well, for like in here, but we're a little too late for that. Which is fine. Actually, can I put... I can. Industrial buildings are permitted in here. Interesting. Just trying to think of ways to artificially heat this place up, but that is entirely beside the point. I've got something far more important to worry about. Where was it? Was it this one? Yes, it was this one with the cool slush geyser. And the 60,000 lux, so definitely solar panels here, especially since it doesn't get any meteor showers. Wait a second, I can't launch that yet. We're still filling up the oxidizer tank. But I can change its destination. And we'll go ahead and toss it over here once it's ready to go. That's round trip, right? No, it is not. Okay, good. Somebody's operating that. That's always the concern. Just trying to work out how much I'm always consuming as far as the oil goes. Which the answer to that is always a little bit more than I'm comfortable with. Can do with heating this room up more. But that's beside the point. For now, anyways. Okay, because I kind of want to set these right next to each other, that way they can link up to each other. I understand that means I'm going to just be buffeting this area with just like a bunch of superheated CO2. Kinda suck just a little bit, but it'll be fine. Thinking maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should not. Maybe I should build up here and just kind of cap this area off. Yeah, that should work. Put one of those there. Don't need that connected. Oh, for the love of. There we go. And also, yes, power. No. That's gonna melt if I launch, when I launch that rocket. It's a little pricey. We'll use the iridium. We'll run an iridium cable over that. That way we're not burning too much for funding. Then... I need to replace this. I need to kind of flip it over. Actually, I might need to fully reconfigure how this works. If I'm going to be completely honest. You know what's something I should do? You have the space. Put an artifact module on that. That's reachable. We just don't have oxalate, I assume. I just do not have any oxalate. That is correct. Well, I do now. There we go. Something to keep it from melting down as well. Okay, and this has been a little long since coming. Oh. That was weird. I'm gonna need more gold. That's fine. More gold it shall be. What do we got here? was kind of hoping for another rocketry duplicant. So I guess we just press the fish button. And we will have more fish. I should probably do something about this natural gas since I can't vent it over here like chlorine and... Yeah, it's gonna be a little weird. We got any gas pipes running down? Well, we got this, but other than that, no, we don't. Okay, that's an easy fix then. That will be a real easy fix. And we'll go ahead and just use nickel. Gas pump. That was not what I meant to do. Yeah, that'll work. And then automation. That's not quite correct. And the reason I say that's not quite correct is because I need to automate this thing still. And I need a gas filter. Annoyingly. Inconvenient no matter how you want to swing it. Yeah, that's fine. Just do that. And then I can just hook that up like that. Yeah, that'll work. We'll just leave the natural gas down here. It's slowly getting hotter. So what I need to do is vent some steam out of here because that's overpressurized. Or at the very least, heat it up. It just needed to be 398. Decisions. this bearing? A little bit better. Heavy watt conductive wires being made out of gold aren't nearly as powerful as just the regular heavy watt wires. Yeah, plus 50% decor is helping because usually these guys sit with a minus 20. But making them out of gold gives it a positive benefit. It's still bad in here, but there's also a lot of just trash lying around in here, so that doesn't help any. Can we feed these guys at least a little bit, please? I have nickel to spare, for crying out loud. Oak shell row. I'll have to wait for that to hatch. Let's see here. A lot of unrefined iron and gold just sitting around, but that's not surprising considering the fact that it rains meteors. Do something with this brine ice. With this liquid brine. I might try to freeze it. It's actually not a bad idea. I will definitely need more power before I try freezing it, though. Absolutely need more power. Do I have any steam vents on this planet? Carbon dioxide vent. Water geyser, cool salt. No, I don't. But I could use that carbon dioxide vent. If I knew where it was. Found it. Alarmingly close to my habitations. Meteor. And then there's this thing. Surprised I haven't tried knocking on the door yet. More gold. Actually, I got these things. I should just... I should just plug that lamp in. Oops. And you know, we may as well use aluminum since we're just manufacturing that. Well, I say manufacturing that. We're getting it from here. Actually, that should be an automatic airlock door. And the reason being, if I overpressurize this, that's not going to be great. Automation. No sensor, definitely not made out of lead. I guess it doesn't matter which way the NOT gate is going, but I'll have it going in that direction. Ooh, actually. I'm definitely gonna need an OR gate in here. There we go. You know what? One of these trees with auto harvest on is fine. Wood's got uses. How many critters we got in here? 7. $103. Yeah, we don't need another egg in there. At least not right now. Nobody with rocketry, so more rocks. Yeah, we're fine on the lums for now. Why did this? Oh. Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. It would be getting cold through this thing. That's a little annoying, but... There we go. I'm not running high voltage wires through those rooms. Oh. It's a little too cold for Mirth Leafs. I assume I'm out of steel, and that's why that's not being built. I would assume not quite correctly. But more steel still wouldn't hurt. Okay, so I'm looking at probably... And we'll use iridium since it's fairly renewable, but I'm thinking probably a rocket platform right up here about. So taking out all this would be great. I will need to figure out all of this. Should be reachable from... Yeah, they should be able to hop off there and climb up. Le Bork indeed. Le Infinite Bork. That's here, 289. Oh, these will work. The trick is somehow surviving, and you will eventually get a base to this scale. And the contemplations on constructing a third rocket platform. Now, if only these guys would drop off oxalite in this so I can get my rocket taking off. Have any oxalite? I do. I do have oxalite. Start pumping the natural gas out of here finally. Or not, because I never plugged this in. Yeah, everything I do adds just a little bit more power strain to the network. are you stuck? Why is this not flowing? Hang on. Okay. Why are you back flowing? Okay, I see what's going on. Okay, that should not be backflowing anymore. Nope, wonderful. Who did this? That was rude. Food, improved nearby decor. Turn on the grid. How much power does this thing need? Only 60 watts? That's not bad. That is a little more manageable for me. Yeah, this thing's been overpressurized. Because of course it's been overpressurized. That's a little too high. Well, that at? Oh, I don't know how that ended up at 7. But there we go. That'll be kind of temporary is what we're doing. What we're doing over here is we're basically venting well, the carbon dioxide here, but also just some excess materials in general into space. Mostly gases. Big thing that I'm concerned about is whether or not this is overpressurized. Yep. Okay, that's great. So that's not going to erupt right now. Basically, I need to reduce the pressure. That's erupting. At its last few moments. In this case, though, you shouldn't have to worry about it. Or at least I shouldn't have to worry about it. That's not really something I want. Like, I wanted a duplicant with rocketry. He had rocketry, not with narcolepsy, though. to deliver food to the mailbox. Quality must be +4 or higher. Am I making anything with +4 quality? No, I am not. Can I make anything with +4 quality? No, I cannot. That's not entirely true. I can make things with +4 quality, I just need the infrastructure set up for it. And if I wanted to do something like that... I could, I just need space. Maybe I should have taken that guy, even though he had narcolepsy. I don't have... I don't really have anybody who does supplying. Okay, it's not me who's under a meteor bombardment. At least not yet. Output pipe's full. Alright, that tracks. That tracks. Munch. Now I need to do something about this brine ice that this guy's producing. Maybe. Possibly. I really should. For the love of... Bloody goldfish. Right, I might want to keep one egg in here in case I lose a Rex for starvation. Which would suck because those guys produce my fiber. Seriously, Harold? Dude is always getting stuck. Never fails. Every time. Oh. Oh dear. That's, that explains where the natural gas has been coming from. Whoops. Just a little bit of a whoops there. Oh, oops. I don't want to make that at diamond. Need glass. Okay, so this crew. Whoops. Gonna need a little bit more of a heat durable wire there. Just a tiny bit. Yeah. I'm allergic to copper melting down. Okay. Why is nobody supplying this thing? It's reachable. Just supply the bloody thing. Goodness. But also, yes, build that module. What Does room need to be a laboratory? Huge science buildings, huh? Just take it apart. There we go. Excuse me, why did that... See if that fixes the backflow issue. Would be a lot of blast shot. All right, this is that tall. I'm just gonna let this room ventilate for a little bit. It doesn't really need to be pressurized. And we'll take nutrient bars. Those, because right now I have a problem with trying to make the eco power cells, but they keep getting dumped into here. Which ultimately ends up destroying them, so... Which is annoying because they're drained when they're getting destroyed. Oh, okay, it's been filled. That's fine. Where do I got you going? What's left of this deposit right now? Okay. This is actually kind of where I want to hit. Oh, you only have 10 tiles of plate because you've got the basic one. This needs a large oxidizer tank. Okay, just for the moment, we'll go ahead and launch you where you're headed. And immediately melt down our automation wires. Whoops. Okay, and we'll make them out of iridium. Something that can better survive the heat. Alright, so once I get this rocket with a better oxidizer tank, which I'll do on its return. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I would need 14. I need a rocket capable of 14 flight distance. In that particular case, what are we working on right now? Red Bull propulsion? Yes, which leads into cryofuel. Liquid hydrogen and liquid oxidizer tanks. Okay, that's going to be difficult because I know what I need to do to make those. I'm not looking forward to doing it. I'm really not looking forward to doing it, but I know it needs to be done. And moreover, I know how to do it. Excuse me? We have plenty of food. How are you starving? Where are you starving? Oh, maximum will overtake you, goofball. Yeah, how many of these do I've got? That was probably my last eco one. Where's my seed analyzer? There it is. Botanical analyzer is bigger than I thought it was. Don't really need the botanical analyzer. going to build it regardless. That's really all I want is the mission control structure. Being made out of iron ore. It's gonna be too high in here for iron ore, but I'll probably just swap it to gold amalgam. Should be fine. I'm hoping it'll have clear line of sight despite being under the Meteor blaster. Otherwise, that's going to be a problem. Okay. Excellent. Clear line of sight. Probably build a second one of these things. I put it right there. Ooh, that potential is getting a little high. Then I'm going to need these things powered as well, but at that point, I might use high voltage wires to power these. Which I could do just through right there. Put those limes back. And we'll just use a regular lamp, but I will need a duplicant motion sensor first. And then the appropriate cabling. And then the lamp. Okay, it's just nightfall. Solar panels shutting down startled me for a second. Actually, I might. I don't know. Had a thought, lost it. Ooh, nice, another gilded asteroid field. And you are slow moving. Goodness. Rock speed 1.4 tiles per cycle. That explains it. Okay. You move at like a quarter of the speed. You need 2 doors in this room. Oh, whoops. That's not supposed to run like that. Okay, decisions. I don't think I want to make another petroleum engine, though. Some people are going to sleep, some people are getting food, some people are getting back to work. The power of the rotating shift, something I started way too late. There we go, now we're finally getting this stuff dug up. That's about time. Where are you going? Where are you going? Ah, you're grabbing water. Okay. I understand now. Whoops, that shouldn't be in there. Oh well. It's not going to be too egregious having to deal with that. A little bit of carbon dioxide. Especially since we're going to be hauling a whole bunch of iridium back home. Don't care much for the mafic rock or the granite, but that refined gold and iridium is going to be massive. Okay, now to deal with just trying to figure out where I want to set it up at. Okay, it's not overpressurized. Come on, steam turbines, I believe in you. At least a little bit. I need to adjust this thing. Get those wires built now that I have open space build it in anyways. Okay, let's see here. $360 demand. Okay. I think we'll separate from that. Actually, no, we'll stick connected to that. I just had a better idea. I'll sever from, oops, not right there. Sever from that like so. and reconnect like that. Oh, it just melted. Actually. I'm gonna redirect this wire over here and then resplit that over there, breaking the doors off. That should balance out the two power loads actually pretty well. At least for the most part. Rip in peace, lamp. Not quite what I want, rock digging and rocketry, but Higby will have to do. Damn it, Frankie. He's gone out and gotten himself deep fried again. You're still collecting materials. Oh yeah, still filling the cargo bay. Is some mining speed on a drill cone. It doesn't sound the tooltip. Doesn't say this either. Huh. That's not helpful. Well, I mean, that's not entirely true. It's kind of helpful. Oh, plug slugs. Where's... okay. You still feeling? Yes, you are. And then Radbolt propulsion, that's... right, I've got to unplug these. Oops. God, I did that. Oh, well, that's fine. I actually need to work on better Radbolt production. I kind of have an idea. It's not exactly what I'd call the safest idea, but I do need a research reactor. I'm just not 100% sure where I'd want to put it. I do know it's going to have to be an encapsulated room, lead-lined. Going to need lead lines too because of radiation. Oh, it's going to be a blast. It's going to be blissful. I don't need that because I have bees. Well, how are the bees doing, actually? I know the bees can be a little finite. And the bees are doing okay. Oh, that could be useful. An alveolar with a higher temperature tolerance. Right, anyways, I think I have an idea as to where I would probably put my research reactor. Probably just in here. You should be fine. So what I'm thinking is... I can't use lead. Okay. Unfortunate. Stations. Oh, those are kind of bulky. Good to know if I wanted to use 2 of them. They are tall, they are bulky, they are big. Nails, what are you? Oh, goodness. I see what's going on here. I did actually make a lead-lined suit ahead of time. I'll even go as far as to make a second one. Insulation thickness, an additional 30 centimeters. Now, of course, that doesn't mean it's 30 centimeters just jutting out from one side of the suit. That is, all around you have 30 centimeters of additional insulation, so it's like 15 centimeters on each side sort of deal. Oh, hang on, I can't. That's too high. That's nothing important. What got entombed over here? That's the real concern. Excuse me? That's not entombed. That's just out of liquid. It's time to send green signals, red signals. Yeah, I might need that. Ah, bugger. Yeah, come on, climb back. No. There we go. put it right in there. And none of these have... Oh, over here. And that's not a big deal. Those aren't even supposed to be down there anyways. Okay, this is on a different asteroid entirely, so that's... I don't know why I'm being pinged for that one. There's nothing entombed here. It's just a liquid pump out of liquid. Okay, he's back. That swapped out with a larger oxidizer tank. Okay, let's see here. I should probably just do mechanized airlock doors. I can English periodically. I don't need that. I will keep the infrastructure for this though, because my other rocket will definitely need the loader, but this one doesn't need it. Are you starving? Oh jeez, I ran out of food, that's why. Okay, that's panic. So readily caught up in everything else. Oops. Relief backflowing again. Okay, starvation evaded. For the moment. Okay, food. Gas range. Get that building disabled. Because at the moment we don't need it active. At least not now. Okay. We can get that switched off, that would be great. Copper ore. Okay, the research reactor. Ooh, that is a hefty beast. That is fairly big. I'm thinking of insetting it just a little bit. Two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's kind of what I want to do is have like a little puddle of water down here. Because this thing is going to be a little scary. Necessary, but scary. Auto inputs, fuel delivery control. Radbolt generates reflectors, make radiation usable by other buildings. Yeah, I'm aware of that. Overheating will result in a meltdown. What's your overheat temperature? No, really, what's your overheat temperature? I will have to slightly redesign this area, because I'm going to need... Oh, where are they? Not that. Yes, Radbolt reflectors. And a Radbolt chamber. That's gonna be like the big thing I want. That's not gonna be the only big thing that I want here. Because you can generate power with this thing. I'm just not sure how much water I can afford to put in here before I flood it out. And that's actually something I want to figure out. I'm gonna put this on mesh tiles, fill this room with water, and if I can fill it up with enough water, where it's like even just one tile of it is sitting and fully submerged, that should be pretty useful. Failing that, I'll try to sink heat in some other ways. And there's Higby. Give you digging for now, but that won't be your primary job. And I'll go ahead and move you over to the second shift. Actually, another thing I might do is pump out all the oxygen in the room and fill it with hydrogen. Oh boy. And even then, I'm going to need rad bolts for a few other things, not just research. At some point, I'll start running low on diamonds, and I'll need rad bolts to run the diamond compressor, which will compress, I believe, refined carbon into diamonds. Actually, I have to check that. Under refinement. Those under stations? Utilities? Huh. Yeah, there's diamond press. I haven't researched it yet. Press pressurized forging. You know, I should probably do that before I research, or before I finish researching, the other one, because it'll be a quick research to do. Yeah, okay, refined carbon and rad bolts. I'll have plenty of that because I have wood. It's not a renewable, it's not a source of coal, but it's better than peat. Okay. That's not what I want. I thought this was something else. No, that's a buffer? Outputs a green signal if the input continues sending green signal for an amount of time. That's what I want. Okay. I want a buffer gate, not a timer. Timer would be good for some very specific stuff. Actually, hang on. For the sake of what I want to test, I can just put the research reactor right here on the floor, at least temporarily. Don't need ladders. Should be able to cover it like that. Emphasis on should. It's running low again. What do we got? That would be better than nothing. And we are out of Megaprawn, so that's not going to be helpful. Hatch eggs. I'll take those, however. Now I just need to set up a room for hatches. I think I know exactly where I'll put a room for hatches. 2 seconds should be long enough. because I'm going to break into that. So we'll just... Too long. That would work. We'll render this just a walkway. This thing is not really reliable. I need another source of chlorine gas. Oh nice, new planter box. Do I already have that planter box? Nope, okay. I do have duplicate gloves, however, so we'll go ahead and scrap one of those. And socks are in triplicate. Not anymore. Because I can get a number of rocks from just space sources, I have no problem just feeding the patches stones. So that won't be an issue. This doesn't need a solar panel. Okay, food is managing, albeit a little slowly. Honestly, not sure why I'm keeping these Rexes down here at this point. I'm doing a little better for food now, which is great. Oh no, it's just a lone pip is left in here. Oh well. Okay, so that needs liquid intake. Overheating will result in an explosion. What's its overheat temp, though? That I would like to know. Well, I guess as long as I kept it under 700 degrees, or 600, because that's what lead melts at. Actually, let's see here. Lead's radiation blocking value is 85%. And gold is 35. What about steel? Marginally worth at 74%. Iridium? Iridium's a better radiation absorber than lead. I'll need more of it, but that might actually be worth doing. I will stop drinking water and get food. want to see if I can have this thing sit in like a very small pool of water. Alternatively, I guess I could fill the room with steam perpetually. That would work. I got the space. I could do that. Oh, nice. Duplicants have traveled over 10,000 meters through tubes. Not like I've seen any duplicants use this tube, but you know. Tubes. Whoops. There we go. Well, that was interesting. The pip went from fleeing to forgiveness. Interesting. Goodness, I have another Rex egg. This one's about to starve out. Get on the floor. Starvation in 10 days. Or 10 cycles. I guess I got the millets to toast. Ultimately, I'm just trying to fight against a somewhat dwindling food supply. Hatch eggs relocated at the very least. Which are my oldest Pacus? Okay, since that pip refuses to climb down. There you go. And we're going to crack a couple of plug slug eggs, because you don't need too many of those. How did you guys get down there? No, I see how they got down there. Never mind. I see how it happened. I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to acknowledge that, yes, it did happen. And yes, it is silly. Okay. So... So I can tolerate a little water. But I guess it's just a question of how much it can tolerate. Whoops. There we go. Okay, but that doesn't matter because I'm seeing what I need here. So the research reactor has a water intake, so... And it's gotta be, well, it's gotta be water-based. It kinda gives me an idea. Depending on how hot it can get in here. And that's ideas in a few ways. Oh dear. That's not... That's not good. Brack wax, thermium. I know how to get brack wax. I have not researched how to get brack wax. Okay, that's on me. Refine spracking into brine and brack wax emits carbon dioxide. That's fine. I'm going to need it regardless. I never set the primary output on this. Whoops. There we go. I should start actually diminishing the natural gas in here. Just a little bit of an oops moment. Just a tiny bit. Let that get flowing. Dump more heat into here. I really do just need to get in here and drain out some of the water and vent out some of the steam. Power. Oh, yes. Okay. Actually, I might want to use ceramic in here. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Ceramic tiles. Shouldn't need too much water, just a little bit. just a tiny amount to keep everything running more or less in the right direction. And don't mind the sound of that, that's just a cherry flavored sparkling water. Oh, the mining laser has. Okay, I think I'm good now. The toilets are fine. The plumbing situation could be better, but it's fine. If anything, the real crime here is I don't know what to do with all my gunk. That would be the real crime. If I have a whole bunch of gunk building up that I genuinely have no idea what to do with. I guess I can boil it into sulfur and petroleum. God, that would require intensive heat, though. Nails. It is a good thing you are dismantling all of those. Food. Heater. Do what I'm thinking. I might just use this instead. Well, we'll see how that behaves. We'll leave this as is for the pips. We got 2 eggs in there, that's fine. do I get from these space points of interest? Granite, mafic rock, sedimentary, igneous, sedimentary. Mafic, granite, sedimentary. Those would be good ones. Granite. Okay, I can't feed the hatch set mafic rock, but I can give it sedimentary rock. Okay, shale. Only for regular hatches, though. Interesting. Not stone hatches. Interesting. Oh, it just keeps going. It just keeps going. Sage hatches are kind of nice because they're easier to care for, but they can still be a little costly. These guys, the stone hatches, I'm usually a little hesitant on. Simply because they eat lots of rock and give you half its value back in coal. But it's not a bad idea. I guess I need to wait for the hatches to hatch first. Just reject all. Okay, you are fueled up and ready to go. Ooh, yes. Thriving in the chaos and causing all the mayhem. And about to get his claws on some fullerene. Oh boy. So I can get fullerene, that's going to yield thermium. Thermium will take me to, I'm thinking something else. That's niobium. What's this used for then? Ah, super coolant, right. Hello, hello. What we got here? Fullerene, refined carbon, that's fine. Sedimentary rock. Eh. Still, that would yield super coolant. May have to set up another one of these simply because this one's kind of crowded in here and is literally just being used for the production of biodiesel. Some more of those rocking. Yeah, glad you stumbled across me. I kind of just let this consume my life, not gonna lie. I just not sure where all the water's coming from, but that might have been it. Steam explosion from that. Not quite as many hours as you got in. I'll be completely honest on that, closer to about 1,000 myself, but still very well enjoyed. Here, this a little bit. Let's see here. Honestly, I should just reach into this. Actually, water-based cooling on... I wonder if that would work. You've escaped the husky for the time being. As huskies do. Always gotta find something to bother you about. Oh, that's... How did that happen? Oh, regular ice. That explains that. That's not good. That was liquid I was using for cooling. Oh dear. What else have I got? Not that, that's for sure. Well, kind of. That's being used to cool off that, but... Admittedly, I just need to rework my approach with this. I'll let this drain out, but I don't need anything else in there, at least. That's dormant for another... Okay, 11 cycles. Should be fine. Emphasis on should be. Current plastic production method is I'm feeding mimillets to lure plants and then harvesting the amber to produce plastic that way. I am sitting on some bonbon trees, but I'm just mostly using those for kind of a backup. Just gonna let that pipeline fill with ethanol. Of course, I could in theory use the nectar produced by the bonbon trees to also produce plastic kind of continuously, but this also gives me access to fossils. I haven't really had access to Drecos. They are over on Yuckiel, like right here. But this place kind of imploded on itself, so I haven't really had any luck with this. I've kind of written it off for the time being. Yeah, I've had that happen plenty of times. I think that's pretty relatable for everyone. Oh, it's getting hot down here. Okay, I need to tackle that. I know how I'll tackle it. I should be fine taking out that corner. It's not too bad, but I can understand how you get overwhelmed, especially once you start looking at multiple outposts. I will say the game at least does give you a heads up when there's something going on in any of your outposts. It shakes this, makes a sound, does everything it can to get your attention, like how the beds just bounced. Because I got one dude running around without a bed. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it's not going to actually accept brine. Probably not the best thing to put into a nuclear reactor, but... let's see if this actually works. Oh, you are operational. Okay, I was not expecting you to be operational right now. Okay, I was not expecting the reactor to just kick off right away. Oh no! Oh no! Oops. Ah. Whoops. We can fix that. It, uh... It helps exfoliate the duplicant's pores. It'll be fine. Along with their skin. I gotta figure out how to clean this up. I can't high priority these, can I? No, I can't. Okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and start with enabling that. I wasn't expecting it to activate right away. Yeah, I know, rat vomiting. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Yeah, that's right. Take your iodine tablets, everyone. Can I just pump this out? I'm gonna try to just pump it out. And this will either work or it'll get dumped all the way down here. That's a problem. Yeah, I probably should have done that. But like I said, thrive in the chaos. Oh good, I've reduced the amount of radiation exposure to one person. Well, Higby's also not doing too great, but... Oh, 2 people are rat vomiting. Oh, it definitely is, and I've never actually built the research reactor before, so I wasn't sure how it operated per se. Now I know. Honestly, I think the yodeler just doesn't know where he is. I make some more of these. What melted down? No, okay, that's whatever. Oh, the automation plate melted. Yeah, well. Actually, that reminds me, I did want to break into this. It's a regular water geyser right here, but comparatively to the temperatures I'm putting out down here, yeah, things will be fine. I can kind of use it for cooling. Can't, or nope, I cannot make them administer those themselves. I can heighten the intensity of these, however. There we go. And your rad exposures are not too bad. And you took an anti-rad pill. Excellent. I'm hoping with that just constantly moving, we should be good. As long as it doesn't stall in the pipe. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can just boot that right out into the void. Excellent. Now to kind of do the same with the rest. Just kind of juggling the nuclear waste. Okay. It's trying. But I do know I can now... I do know I can pump it out. Hi, nuclear waste. What's your boiling point? 800. What's your overheat temp? Not nearly hot enough. What's happening is that radioactive waste doesn't want to be contained, no matter how hard you try. So it just kind of breaks out of whatever container you have it in. And a pump is considered a container, so it keeps picking up like half of the... about half of it every time, and then it has to re-pick it back up. Or I've created an infinite nuclear waste joke. That's kind of what I'm actually worried about. I may have created an infinite nuclear waste loop. Here, 58 grams. Dang it. The funny thing is I'm better at pausing it on faster speed. Yeah, I think that may be an infinite loop. That's alarming. Oh well. can handle like a few grams of nuclear waste sitting around. That'll be fine. Yes, I know buildings are melting over here. Because that is just molten aluminum just hanging out. Why do we have molten aluminum just hanging out? Because I don't. You're up to 7 cycles. Okay. Let's do another 20 of these. I don't need the yellow alert chime going off. We can just put it to red. Or put it to 9. Okay. Well, that was exciting. Oh god, wrong pipe. I think I'm good. That'll teach me to take a sip of something. Alright. I take that back. Still suffering just a little bit. You feeling better? No? Okay. Yeah, like I got a tiny bit of solid nuclear waste right here. If I could chill it, that would be amazing. That's also something I should definitely do, is actually build a proper cooling facility. No, we'll dig out right here. And we'll be bringing that sand down anyways. Yeah, 2 people are vomiting. It's not egregious, but it ain't great either. Oh, good, the megafronts have grown. Frost buns for everyone. I had a raptor in here. I guess starved. Unfortunate. It's a good thing I got eggs. Okay. Yeah, more automation wire melting down. I know. Dormant for 23 cycles. Okay, manageable. Oh god, in your Atmos suit, really, dude? Oh, this room had been full of water. Oh dear. There's been a slight miscalculation and everything has imploded because of it. That's not going in the right direction. Where's that flowing? Oh. I connected the wrong pipe. There we go. Oh, the auto sweeper broke. Whoops. Yeah, but at least this works. Exactly, you get it. We can't be hydrating while everybody's radioactive. Though I suppose we could be. It would be funny. Oh, you're still... I would have thought you'd have filled your cargo hold by now. Or run out of diamond. Either one, really. Nope. Okay, so new plan. Before these ethanol pipes burst. Actually, it doesn't have to be the ethanol pipes now I think about it. And these would be energy. These would be cheaper to run anyways. Let's do these guys. Actually. Hopefully it doesn't backflow weirdly. So I can cool this stuff down. Big if. A very big if, but if I can cool it down, then I can get rid of it more manually, I guess. Hatch eggs are still incubating. They're almost done. Because I've got like a little bit of solidified nuclear waste hanging out right here. Which is funny because it's actually sitting supercritical, but this guy is keeping it cold. There. Automation, thermal sensor, or thermo sensor, I guess was what it would be really called. Also, I'm thinking I might do a liquid sensor in the pipe, probably way back over here some. Well, yeah, probably back here. That's when the selected liquid is detected in the pipe. Yeah, good enough. Cannot go into those pipes. Okay. And we'll swap to iridium. And then I'll just go and put a buffer right there. I wonder. It doesn't help me. I only have 3 ammo suits here. Oh well. Are you going to build an ulti? Oh, good. Nope, you're just applying the materials. How dare you? Interesting. Or can solidify. Oh, that's corium. Never mind. Do you have any use? No, you just turned a nuclear fallout. Nope. Okay, that has no use whatsoever to speak of. Oh good, the radiation has died down a lot. Alright, good. Carry it, run, get rid of it. Dump it into the void. Base can have it. In fact, I'd go as far as to say it's mostly safe. It's some very casual radiation exposure at this point. And that's just an infinite nuclear waste generator. We need to stop. Yep, you need to stop. And even if they did, I'm sure they'd be fine. A little bit of radiation should cure that pretty quick. Never mind, it's decaying. Hey, babe, we got this. Oh boy, what do we get? What do we get? Basic coral gloves. Duplicants keep going until the environment gets to them. Hi, Pip. I see you are trapped in the dinosaur room. However, the dinosaurs are currently not available. At least not yet. Breaking that 100th cycle can be rough. Like, I'm not gonna lie at all, that can actually be pretty difficult to do. That's understandable. Oh, I think that's pretty solid for everyone. Their first few playthroughs are just... It's just figuring out the mechanics. I can't even call it panicking more than just trying to figure out what makes duplicants not asphyxiate or die in other means. Yeah, I'm just gonna freeze that nuclear waste. Forget mopping it. either they'll dig themselves into situations, you'll dig them into situations if you don't recognize it. I can't tell you how many times I've ended up with like a guy trapped over here or over here because I neglected to extend the ladders that far. That's a pleasant sound. Okay, so since I'm going to kind of focus on trying to at least chill via gas cooling. I gotta drag this stuff way over here. Oops. Through the tube. Okay, that's gonna be an issue. There we go. Exactly, and while it will usually tell you you have a trapped dude, usually what catches me is the starvation notice or the made a mess notice. Power plants. Yeah, because it's getting too hot over here. This guy will be fine, because it's easy go. It's an easygoing mutation, but the rest of these are kind of suffering. And we're finally getting cold water flowing back through there again. This is true. Well, maybe. If you're on top of your automation layout, a good base can idle pretty easily without issues. And not run into issues. Problem is with automation is power. A lot of the stuff is power hungry, and I've got these guys with microchips on them, so they produce, 50% extra power, and I still sometimes run into power problems. Now, I could do with heightened battery banks, don't get me wrong there. Especially since I've got a plug slug ranch, which I should expand. What options do you have available for power generation at the exact moment? Yeah, we'll just do that. Kind of aiming for this just to be temporary. Just long enough for me to freeze out the nuclear waste and get rid of it that way. Yeah, dear. Well, that kind of works. Yeah, pizza a bit of a trickier resource because the lums don't behave like a hatch farm at all. Whereas a hatch is happy with 8 in a room, lums prefer, I think, at most 4 when properly contained. I'd probably get on petrol fairly quick. I kind of lucked out with my petrol by having this right in the middle of everything. So I'm just kind of purifying the water and then venting it or pumping it directly into the petroleum wells. I'm trying to heat treat slicksters over here into becoming molten ones, but oof. Yeah, you'll have to go pretty deep for the wells, especially if you're playing base game. Just do not fall for the leaky oil fissure. It is a trap. The leaky oil fissure does not... It puts out... Well, it's constantly erupting. It puts out 600 grams a second, and it's just... It's not enough to do anything, but it's also not enough to stop either, because it also puts things out at 600 Kelvin, because I run Kelvin. Yeah, actually that means you have access to biodiesel. So you could run your emulsifier into the production of biodiesel and burn that. That could actually be a saving grace right there. Speaking of emulsifiers, I need to build a second one of those. Because this one's just kind of existing to feed this, but I'm definitely going to need a second one so I can produce the supercoolants. Probably put it like right here. Population. Why is that not? Oh. Go ahead and put this right here. There you go. So you're sitting on more power than you realize. It's just a case of utilizing your resources. This biodiesel, aside from making the blast shots and whatnot, is a combustible. Should make that reachable. Ah, no, I kind of just slapped them right next to each other and then immediately started shipping intercosmic rounds to this guy I had. Every time I order this ice to be dug up and then moved, it shows up again. There's just no stopping that chunk of ice right there. No hatches. Oh, right. I only have one farmer. Oops. And he's running around trying to get everything taken care of at once. No, I have two farmers. Okay. I thought I only had one farmer. I have two, but it's now a case of getting them to work. I'm pretty sure that... Oh, okay, still in its cooling cycle. That's why it hasn't been repaired yet. Or do I need to deconstruct and rebuild it? Because I'll do that. I'll just go and just take it apart and reassemble it. That's not good. It'd be greatly appreciated if somebody dropped off some sand in this thing. Or regolith, either one. There we go. I mean, Cryer's not bad. That's just free water right there. As cruel as that may be. Well, yeah, that water flowing is kind of important because it goes to my two electrolyzers. Cry? No. Vomit? Yes. Well, I mean, I suppose there's a chance a Duplicant could get stuck crying in a place where they can't breathe and asphyxiate. But the vomiting part is pretty bad because they lose calories every time they vomit, so they could starve. Oh, there are several pips in here. Here, this should cheer him up. Yeah, that was fun. And then we figured out other ways to manage our fluid output. And it looks like we have hit our limit for the day, unfortunately. So we'll just have to save this mess right here. Well, less fun ways certainly, but definitely more productive ways to produce water for the colonies. But like always, I do thank you all for coming. And I hope you had a good time. Unlike the Duplicants. Especially unlike the Duplicants. Well, like always, I hope you have a good day or good night wherever you may be. And as always, if you like my content, hit the like button. If you dislike it, hit the dislike button. Both of those help me out a lot. And if you have any errant thoughts, feel free to leave those down below. And until next time, ta-ta for now, and y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.